When did this abuse happen and how?
It was in my early teens, for a few years, that I experienced quite a few unpleasant things.
And can we ask, was this somebody you knew? Was it a stranger?
Yeah, it was someone pretty close.
Someone
pretty
close?
Yeah.
OK. Did you talk to anybody about it at the time?
Yeah, I had conversations with numerous members of my family, and I got persuaded not to take it any further because I was made to feel like it was the wrong thing to do at the time. It was not beneficial for anyone.
And how did that make you feel at that time? You were a teenager.
I was a teenager, and...
Did you tell anyone outside the family?
No.
So how did you overcome that and move forward with your life?
I made quite a few bad mistakes when I was growing up.
That you now link back to that?
That I now link back to that, yeah.
So, Rebecca, you left home when you were 16?
Yeah.
Was that the reason why you left home?
That was one of the reasons that I left home, yeah. I struggled. I was a troubled child. I didn't know what direction to take in my life, and it was a really, really tough time. But I think it's really important that I came through it, and there is light at the end of the tunnel, and it is never too late to be able to talk about something like this, no matter how difficult it may be at the time.
Have you ever had any professional help?
Yeah, I had a lot. After I suffered postnatal depression with Taylor, I was so depressed, so bad, I didn't even want to leave the house at that point, that I went to the doctors, and the doctor persuaded me that I needed to go on medication and I needed counselling and I needed therapy, and at that point it was almost like Pandora's box had been opened, and I realised if I didn't deal with it then, I never would, and things would not get better.
Did you tell your GP at that point that there had been sexual abuse? I just want to make this clear that it was someone close to you but not a member of your family. Yeah. So when you met Jamie, you've been living with this secret, I suppose, for years and years. What happened? Did you tell him? How did that conversation come about?
I didn't tell him straight away because it was one of those conversations that it was difficult. It still is relatively difficult to talk about.
Is that because deep down you still thought that you were somehow responsible in some way for what happened?
I think you're right with saying that. I was made to feel that it was my fault, and it's one of those things that you don't discuss.
Well, because basically you were told to forget it and keep it a secret, really.
Exactly. And I think having children of my own, also, I'd never want my kids to experience anything like that. And that's why I'm so open. I mean, it's half term, my kids are here with me, but there's no TV on and there's no sound because it's so fragile and you have to handle things so delicately.
What about when they're
like
older, Rebecca? Because, you know, everything's there now, as we were talking earlier about the digital age, you know, nothing is deleted. So will you talk particularly to your daughter
100%.
about
Meg,
what
so I
happened?
will probably, over the next few days, have a conversation with her and explain.
And she's 12?
She's 12, yeah. I mean, I won't go into too much detail with her because I think there's some things that are probably better left unsaid, but yeah, she needs to know, but I also want to make sure she needs to know that there's not horrible men out there, because I would hate for it to affect any further relationships that she goes into.
What about Jamie? How supportive has he been in you being so public about this and giving you the courage to talk about what happened to you?
He's so supportive. He's always been supportive of everything I want to do, and I think he likes that I'm able to stand on my own 2 feet and I'm not afraid to do so. And it takes a certain sort of man to allow his woman to do that and not be a kind of sit back and
I want to ask you, what gave you the confidence to finally tell him? What happened? Was there one thing, or was it just a gradual thing where you trusted him? Because it sounds to me like up to him, you didn't really trust anyone.
I didn't trust anyone. And yeah, it's a combination of trust, but I think it was also, there was some things that had come out in the media about him and his family, and I thought it was probably an appropriate time to say, look, yeah, that's being written about you at the minute, but this is also what happened to me, so you know, you're not on your own with certain situations like that. I'm not suggesting that he was abused or anything like that, but it's a family situation, So I felt at that point that I could speak to him about that.
You said you had therapy as well. Did that give you the confidence as well to be able to then open, to say it to people?
Yeah, definitely. And I think as my kids got older and older, I just thought I don't want my children to grow up feeling
they can't tell you.
That they can't tell me things, or that they could, but I wouldn't believe
What about people, anyone who might be watching today who's found themselves either now in a similar situation or something that they've been keeping to themselves for many years and haven't told anybody? What would you say to them today?
You have to talk. There's always someone that you can talk to, that you can trust. It's not something that you can get away with bottling up forever. At some point it will catch up with you, and at some point it will seriously affect your life if you can't deal with those issues.